Hey guys, Flippin Customized here. Got the 98 SS S10 in the shop today. We brought it in last night because we actually have a big snowstorm outside today. We've got about, I don't know, 14 to 16 inches of snow so far. It's blowing around out there pretty good. And it's freezing out. So I actually came into the shop and it was 43 degrees in here. So the heat wasn't running, so the heat's on now and we'll get it warmed up. What we're doing today in the shop is we're going to give this thing an altitude adjustment. These come factory lowered to begin with, but they're also stanced. So the back is about 2.5 inches higher than the front. And I want to level this thing right out. It isn't going to be used for work. It's literally a play. It's a toy. So what we're going to do is we put just a 2-inch lowering block in the back. Nothing crazy, nothing fancy. Just to level this thing out. When I had got it, it had the coilover rear shocks in it because the older folks that had it used it to run and grab stuff from the supermarket and the lawn and garden center and whatnot. So we took those out. We've already done the shocks. The right shocks are in it now, but you're still sitting too high in the back. So I want to level this thing right out, and that's what we're up to today. All right, here's the video of the blocks that we got. We got the 2-inch tapered block for the rear of this SS. And what it does, if this is the front of your truck and the block is sitting in there, well, let me say that. The front of your truck's right here. That's the angle of the block right here. It's the way you want to put it in. The smaller towards the front of the truck. So what happens is, as the pinion angle changes, because you're changing the distance between the leaf pack and the axle itself, reducing travel and whatnot, you're changing that angle and you're putting a greater angle on it. And this brings that pinion angle back down closer to a stock driveline angle to reduce vibration and wear on your U-joints and everything else. So I just wanted to throw that in there. Again, smaller towards the front of the vehicle. But that's just a standard aluminum block. New U-bolts. We'll go ahead and zap these old ones out. There's no blocks in there. Zap the old U-bolts off and install the new ones. All right, here we are into the truck. Of course, we just oil undercoated the whole thing a few weeks ago, but the frame on this truck is in fantastic shape, so we want to preserve that. Not that I'm driving it in the crap, salty roads or anything like that, but even still. So what we're going to do is, obviously we're up on a lift. If you have it, obviously it makes it easy. If you don't, you're just going to jack the axle up. Use jack stands to support the vehicle. In our case, we have the lift. We got this jack right here. This pull jack, so what we're going to do is remove these stock bolts on the leaf pack for the U-bolts. Take these U-bolts off. We're going to jack this side of the axle up. We're going to do one side at a time. Slide that block in there, set it back down, throw the U-bolts on, then do the other side. Fairly straightforward. Usually you can get away with just doing one side one side at a time, but this thing has a sway bar on it, so it might limit us. We might have to remove the sway bar, but we'll give it a shot. All right, as you can see, the U-bolts themselves, these universal jobbies, they come long enough to put like a 4-inch block in there. So completely spaced that. But anyway, I slid them in there. The block's in place, as you can see. What I'm going to do is pop the U-bolts right back out one at a time. They're not bolted in or anything anyway, and I'm going to cut those a couple inches off each one to shorten them up so they don't look foolish underneath there, and then clean up the threads and throw them right back on there. So stand by. Okay, there we go. One side done. We'll switch over, do the other side. But that's, I mean, there's really not much to it. We'll go ahead, I zip these up with the impact gun. I'll go ahead and throw a torque on them. At the end, I think they're around 60 foot-pounds. I can't remember, but anyway, this side's done. Like I said, we'll go ahead and do that side, and then they'll be buttoned up. Yeah, kind of give you an idea. The bump stop up there's had it. I gotta replace those and put some poly ones in it. But anyway, of the 2-inch lower end block installed on this s10 versus not on this side. So there you have it. And I didn't know if you noticed when I did that on the time lapse, I did disconnect the sway bar because I figured it would just make it easier, and it definitely would. So I'll throw that on after we do this side. There you go, guys. Both sides are in, snug down, sway bars reconnected. Like I said, I did end up taking that sway bar down, or just that one link right there, the end link, just because it made it easier. We weren't fighting when you do one side at a time. You weren't fighting one side, we're trying to do the other. So go ahead, we did it at, this truck should be sitting 2 inches lower now, which should put this, based on my previous measurements, to put this thing dead even. Of course, the garage floor is pitched and tapered toward the middle, so that's gonna throw us off when I set it down in here. And it's like 2 feet of snow in the driveway out in the yard here, so I can't put it out there either. So it might be a day before we can get it out. I got doing some exhaust stuff to it anyway, so there's that. There you have it, guys. Another video from Flippin Customized. What I'm gonna do is, it's dark out now, and like I said, there's a lot of snow out there. So I'd like to give you a nice tour of it, because it is sitting dead even now, which is just what I wanted for this toy, because it is a toy. Be a fun little truck, but it's not a good time to get it out there and get a good shot of it all around. I'll do that hopefully tomorrow if the sun's out. I can get the snow all cleared away tonight, and then what we'll do is I'll do a nice walk around of it before we finish off the video. But that was it. The video mechanically tonight in a nutshell is pretty easy. It's a 2-inch tapered lower end block, pretty standard, easy, cheap way to lower the rear of your truck on a leaf spring under axle. So you're bringing the axle up higher, tucking it in. Just watch your drive line angles, get stuff torqued down. What I am going to do is I'm going to go ahead and, since I've New Hampshire oil undercoated the underside of the truck already, and now I've got new exposed U-bolts and blocks under there, I'm going to give those a quick coat as well before I back this thing out here. So we'll get that done too. Well, there it is, guys. All done, backed out of the shop, and sitting pretty. She's dead even now. Like I said, we dropped the rear another 2 inches, because I had quite a bit of a rake to it for an SS. And now she's dead even. So we're not gonna go any lower than that. She's got a nice performance stance where it'll still function really well. So pretty excited about it. Like I said, she sits nice and level now. Fun little truck, fun to drive, not so much this time of the year. You can hear that nice 2-chamber muffler on there too. So yeah, stay tuned for more episodes. If you like it, Flippin Customized, hit subscribe, hit the little bell. Be a lot more fun stuff coming. Thanks again, guys.